Hey, how you doing? This is Chris over at 3D Palace. I hope you're doing well. Sorry about the weird noise going on in the background. I literally have no clue what's causing it. Anyway, this is just a little something for anyone who's using the Doors collection in Unreal Engine and also using the Survival Game Kit version 2. Okay, so I've been using that for a little while. It's a great tool set. And what I have here is this is the blueprint for our door. Okay, so this is a door that I've just dragged across, and if you're wondering, it's this one here. Okay, now if we look at it, most of the code that it's doing is, you know, on component begin overlap, blah 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 blah, set visibility, and this is all about it basically displaying its press E and then opening, which isn't really what we want, but we do want a couple of things here. We do want, you know, some of the stuff that's already left. So let's be very careful with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach my begin overlaps there and there. So I'm just pressing, you know, Alt and clicking on the line, and that gets rid of it. And just do a compile and save. You'll notice that we don't have any errors. What's happened is it's turned off the thing that throws up the press E. Okay, now another thing we're going to need to do is if we go to our class settings over here, we're going to need to add in our BP SGK interaction thingy-bob. So if we just type in SGK and look for our what is it, interact interface, it is, press on that, do another compile and save. Now this is all the hard work done for us pretty much, because if we look over here, this is where all our interfaces were put in by you know, in the development. Now what we need to do next is we need to come over here, and you can see here where it says door open is very different to door open, okay, or will be very different to door open here. So first thing I need to do is I need to get rid of this E, okay, because it's no use to us. We're not going to press E to open our door now. What we're going to do instead is we're going to basically use a custom event called Mr. Door, okay, which sounds hilarious, but that's what it is. Now in order to get that interface to fire, what we need to do is go into our interactions over here and set these up. Okay, so if we look at SKG end interaction, that can stay the same. SKG interact, now this needs to change, okay, because there's a couple of things in here that I want to do. So we need to determine whether the door's open or not. So what we need is we're going to need a boolean down here, which I'm going to call boolvar B. Okay, so let's open that up. Boolvar, and I've called it boolvar. Boolvar B. Okay. Now boolvar B is just a standard boolean with a, you know, set to 0, set to nothing. And I'm just going to drag that in. And this will just keep a recording for us on, you know, what state the door's in at this point. Now I'm going to do a shift and B just to get a branch, or click and B, sorry, B click. I always get those mixed up. There we go. Feed that into there, and I'll feed my condition into here. Now then, what we're going to do next is over here in my event graph, I'm going to make a custom event. There we go, you can tell it's been a little while since I've recorded anything, and I'm going to call this Mr. Door. Okay, just because I thought it sounded funny, and because when you work on your own, this is what happens. Okay, so let's go back to SKG interact, and what we want this to do is we want this to call Mr. Door. So compile and save first, or I won't have a bloody clue what we're talking about. And on false, Mr. Door, there we go. And we'll return this to here, like so. Give it a return value of positive. And for true, we'll just go to return mode. Okay, so we're going to call this event Mr. Door when we interact with it. Compile and save. Okay, now we need an interaction name for this, if we have one. So for this, what we're going to do is we're going to use a description of the door. Okay, so for this we will need something like a component. Let me have a look. What could we use for that? Well, door description. We'll use a text one. So let's just quickly create a quick variable. I'm going to call this door description. Okay, this is going to be a text because I just want some text in it. We're going to make it publicly editable, and we're going to change its category, okay, to make it easier for us to 01 config, like so. Compile and save. Okay, so now we've got a door description. What I need to do is go to my... I'm going to do this a lot, by the way. I think this is SKG Interact Name, isn't it? So SKG Interact Name, and under SKG Interact Name I'm going to get my door description and throw it in here. Okay. Now for my personal door description, which is what my door is called, mine doesn't have a base name at the minute, so I'll change that to whatever I want when it's time. Compile and save. Okay, the next thing I need to do is I need to come down to my possible actions. Okay, now my possible actions, there's a few of those, to be honest. And in here, as you see, there's none. So, after SKG possible actions, the first thing I want to work out is my door locked? Well, this is a configuration action, so let's make is door locked. That way we have the ability to set whether or not our door is locked without actually, you know, having to build a whole new door blueprint, which is always preferable. Let's just put that in there. Get is door locked, pop it here. Okay, now I'm going to do a just, you know, B and click. Make myself a nice branch. Put that there and that there. Right. Now what we need next is we want to be able to have some oh, I've got itchy eyeball here. We need to be able to set some text. Okay, so we need a text variable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an unlocked and a locked text. So let's do locked text, and that is going to be text. That'll be a nice visible one, and let's move that up to here. Okay, and then Control C, Control V, and we'll make unlocked text. Okay, and let's drag that into our config as well, and just arrange these any way you want. Like, you know, is door locked is probably going to go at the top, for example, along with door description just underneath that, just to keep it tidy for yourself or any other members of your team who may be working on it. Okay, let's get the locked text, pop it up here, and get our unlocked text, pop it down here. Okay, so we've got our two variables here, locked text and unlocked text. Now next we need to set a text variable. Okay, we need to set this text variable because we want this as a temporary piece of text that's going to go into whatever, you know. So let's make we'll call it text var A, because I've already got, you know, bool var B. It's text, there we go, compile, save. Okay, now what I need to do here is, and this is fun, I'm going to set text var A. There we go, put this into here. Control C, Control V. If it's false, I'm going to set it from here. Okay, so we have our locked and unlocked. Then let's connect these two here, just in case I need to add any other operations to this later, which I know seems like kind of pointless, but there you go. Then over here we can set bool var B. Okay, because on the top here, if we're doing bool var B, that'll basically denote whether or not our door is going to be, you know, in a lock state or not. So let's do set bool var B, put that over to here, do a check on it. Then over here we're going to connect this to this, like so. Okay, so that's our first return node. Now for our second one, Control C, Control V, let's make a copy of our return node. Can we do that? Of course we can. And just pass this to here. Okay, now what we need to do next is we need to make some arrays. Okay, so we're going to make an array. This is the hardest bit, by the way. So make array, and you'll notice that there's already tutorials for this anyway in the thingy, you know, in the collection of lessons to do similar stuff to this. Okay, so again, make array. Okay, so we've got two make arrays here. This isn't the tidiest way to do it, but it just means that it's very, very, very easy to replicate. Okay, from this, let's make world action. So drag that out, and it should literally be just knocking around. There we go, make world action. And for this one, let's do it again, make world action. So we're basically just making a pair of array objects here. Now, in this one, what we want to do is connect this to our action type, and we're going to make this interact. And then we're going to set this one to this action type, and make this one an interact. Okay, So we've got two interaction types here, feeding into our two pins. Oh, that's my door. Come on, Bum Bum. I'll get it. I know it's exciting. There we go. Sorry about that. The postman came and I certainly wasn't going to hit pause. I did not feel like it. I wonder what this is. Oh, it's my new fan. Brilliant. Okay then. So we've got this set up. It's going to work pretty much as we want it to. I'm going to hit compile and save. Okay, the next thing I need to do, okay, because we've got this interaction, check our two boxes over here. These should both be action found. Okay, otherwise it won't return a positive outcome. Okay, next. We've done our possible actions. Yep, let's have a look at allow interaction now, which is the last node, and that all looks good. We'll just make sure it allows interaction, compile and save. Okay, now we can go back to our event graph. Okay, so if I go back to my event graph here, we have Mr. Door. So let's get is the door locked, because we're not going to do much if it isn't. Get is door locked. Shift and B, or B and click, sorry, not Shift and B. Connect that up. And I'm just trying to keep things as tidy as possible so that it, doesn't look horrible. Now, next I'm going to make a couple of audios. Okay, reason being that I want is a door locked, is a door unlocked, and that's going to be some nice audio for me. So let me see, just some sound cues. So I've got my config here. Let's do door locked sound. Add another one. Door unlocked sound. And then do another one, door closing sound. Okay, so we've got three vars there. Now the three variables are all going to be cues. Okay, so sound cue, let me think. Yep, just sound cue, there we go. And this one will be a sound cue 2. If I can ever find it again, and I'll just type a cue, it's easier. When I used to run 3D Palace, I was famous for never pausing. I think it used to drive all my students insane. So, sorry. Okay, now let's put this into a category. So category O2.audio. Okay, that way we've got an audio section on our door, and you'll see the benefit of this. Once I show you the actual door itself, because we're not really looking at our door yet. Okay, so door locked sound. So is our door locked? Yes it is. Let's get the door locked sound and play sound at location. Okay, so we're playing this sound at location, true. And for the location, we want to get the location of our door. So we want to get self. Okay, so just get a reference to self here. We want to get world location. And the reason this is important, okay, for us is, actually I'll just use root here. The reason this is important for us is because if we don't, then what's going to happen is, actually I might just make it for the door itself, and I'll think about it in a second. Yeah, if we don't do this, then basically any attenuation we have isn't going to work properly. Yeah, I'll just use the door frame actually, here we go, door frame. Let's get the location from that. Okay, so I'm going to feed this into the location box. And now basically any attenuation is going to come from the door frame, which is roughly the right place. Now, obviously if the door's locked, it doesn't go any further than that. If the door's unlocked, let's go to another branch. Feed that into there. Hello. Okay, let's just make a little bit more space over this way. And just drag all my stuff over. And if you are a nodes Nazi, please feel free to straighten up your nodes as you see fit. So just double click, drag them down, all that kind of beautiful stuff. Make some pretty nodes. There we are. Okay, then so we've got this branch here. Now the condition this is based on, well, we'll come to that in a minute. Okay, so we will come to that in a minute. But first of all, let's have a look over here. Yeah, you see this? It's this one. Okay, this little thing here. So what we're doing is it's checking the value of the door's opening and closing location, and we're going to feed that as a result into a branch that comes off over here. Okay, so is door locked? Yeah, and then this one here is going here. like that, okay, and I'll just straighten it up. Right, now, what does this do? Well, firstly it's going to do a door opening or closing sound, depending on whether the door is opening or closing. That's what this is doing. It's basically saying, is the door opening or closing? So let's feed that into a branch, like this. Actually, I've already fed it into a branch, so let's do 2 play sounds at location. So Control C, Control V, Control V, there we go. 2 play sound at locations. 1 and 2. Again, I apologise so much for the audio being just god awful. Okay, now we'll do the door opening sound. Door unlocked, door locked. Oh, hang on a second. Got these mixed up, haven't I? Door locked, door unlocked. No, that should be door opening. That's door opening sound. There we go. Let's fix that. Compile and save, because you always compile and save, otherwise things do not work nicely. Okay, so door opening sound is at the top. Feed that into there. For its location, we want the world location down here. We'll also fill this one in here. In fact, I can probably just tidy my node and do it that way, which makes things a little bit easier. Okay, next I need the sound to go into that one, so that's the door closing sound. Feed that into there. I'm going to show you the door closing sounds in just a minute as well, because this is kind of important. Okay, so we've got the door closing sound, door opening sound, play sound at location, blah-de 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 blah. We don't need this now. Instead, what we need to do is put this as play and put this one as reverse. Okay, follow it through, oops-a-daisy, follow it through. Just make sure that nothing is balked. So we have our make rotators, because this is all stuff for the door handles and stuff. Yeah, that's fine. You don't need to change these. Depending on which door you've got, once you reach this timeline, everything else leaves the same. Okay, really simple. Okay, so open door works. So, is there anything else I need to do here? Probably not, okay, because all these things now up here don't actually do anything. I'm going to disconnect this, press E, so I'm just going to hit Alt and click, because we don't want the E button to do a damn thing. Right, okay, that's done. Now, let's have a look at our door. Okay, so if we click on our door now, is this the right door or is this the wrong door? This is BP door 04. Right, okay, I know what's happened. So I'm just going to find the correct door. So I've got a folder called BP My Blueprints, and inside that I've got BP Doors, because I put all my doors in there. And this should be, God, I hope I've worked on the right one, BP Outer Door. Yes, it is. So here's BP Outer Door. Now you can see here, is door locked, door description, locked text, unlocked text, and the audio. Okay. Now if I use my other door as an example, so here's one I did earlier. We can see the unlocked text is interact with door. So I'll put these into the defaults. Okay. So config, and this should be probably door description, unlocked text, door description. Okay, door description. So in here I'll put a sturdy door. For my lock text, the door is locked, and for unlocked it is interact with door. And the reason I put interact with door is because it's got an open and close. Okay, so if we're open door, it's just going to sit there open and people are going to go, because people are a bit silly like that. So you see, I've just changed that to open door, blah blah blah. That's what I did on the screen. Sorry about that. Okay, so now you can see this has all got this stuff on. Now for door opening sound, door closing sound, etc. Let me just open up one of my cues just to show you. So door open. Here we are here. Now what I've done is I've adjusted the attenuation to put in a small attenuation. Okay, that's important because you don't want it making huge amounts of noise and booming all over the place when they open and shut, especially if you've got an NPC opening and shutting it, because it'll just be crazy. So ATT small means you're only going to hear the door when you're nice and close to it. I've done that for all of them. With door close, I had to add a slight delay to mine because the door close is an immediate sound and the door takes about 2.7 to 2.8 seconds to close. So I just added a delay before the attenuation and before the output. That's all you've got to do. Okay, so let's close those down and let's check our door once I've applied the sounds. So door opening sound, I'll just drag in, door locked, and door closed. There we go. So 3 audio files there. And I'm just going to make 2 different copies of my door. So 1, 2. This one is going to be locked, and this one's going to be unlocked. And if I press play, here we go, a sturdy looking door, and I've got no option for opening it. This one is unlocked, a sturdy looking door. I still have no option for opening it, but I can press F and it will open, but this one won't. Okay, now let's have a final look at my code and see what I did wrong here, because I missed a bit, and I know that everyone loves looking at, you know, the mistakes I've made. It will make them really happy. So let me just get my outdoor, because I know it will just be something very, very simple that I've forgotten to do. So you may as well do bug checking with Cris. Okay, so we know the door's opening when I'm doing this state, but what it's not doing is displaying the interaction, and I've got a feeling it's just going to be a case of me checking my interaction. Okay, so SKG interact, here we go, boulevard, condition, true, false, comes into here, Mr. Door returns to there. The interact name is door description, which is correct. The possible actions then, so let's have a look at possible actions, and that all seems to be correct, except I didn't actually connect these to anything because I'm an idiot. So that would explain an awful lot. There we go. Okay, now let's move this over here because I am Wonder Man. And look at the first door. Door is locked, doesn't do anything. Second door, interact with door. Oh ho ho ho. Oh ho 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 ho. There you go. Okay, so I hope you found this interesting. This is a kind of a thank you to the SGK community, who, you know, it's a fantastic, fantastic toolkit, to be quite honest, and it's made a big difference to my game development because it has a lot of the tools in it that, you know, I can rip apart and use for my own needs. So big thanks to everyone involved with SKG, and yeah, hope you find this useful, and sorry about the audio.